Yeah, we in that thing. There we go. Going live. World Series, man. Astros trying to pull it off. What y'all think?
I think the Phillies gonna get it tonight. They'll get it.
We're gonna
Then
finish.
Game 7 is a toss up tomorrow.
We're gonna finish them out tonight, man. Ain't no game. We got the sensation on the mound tonight. He actually pitched better than Verlander. This series should be over if Dusty Baker would have been trying to give Justin Verlander that his first World Series victory, which he finally got. But anyways, let's go H Town. Finish him off for the
Right?
clutch. For the
Yeah,
clutch, y'all know.
let's go, Dusty Baker.
Yeah, let's go and get that done, man.
Let's get the dub. It sound crazy cheering for the Stros, but I'll be damn, I cheer for the Phillies.
Nah, ain't none of that. Get him out of here. Get him out of here. Y'all know what it is.
I don't hate the Stros at all, but y'all know who I rock with, man. ATL, Shouty.
Y'all know what
Uh,
it is.
I don't think there's been what since Cito Gaston last time a brother won. A brother was manager that won the World Series. Cito Gaston with the Blue Jays, back to back.
It's
Yep.
been a long minute.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah, because everybody. Oh well, no. Your boy with the Dodgers. My bad. My bad. I forgot about him. Forgot about him. So it's been happening.
I remember Cito Gaston them back in the day, man. Them Blue Jays, man, they had a little run. Joe Carter and him.
Yes, sir.
I remember staying up watching them battle the Braves when the Braves first got cooking. Man, good times, good times. But y'all know what it is. Y'all know who we are, man. Glad everybody tuned in last night. We talked a little FSU, Miami. DJ King, Drake did his thing. Coach Drake, excuse me, did his thing. He ran it, ran the table, set the meal, all that good stuff. We had a lot of good conversation last night. So y'all keep tuning in. Y'all hit that subscribe, share, like button. Y'all should know the crew by now. Just North Sports Show. We in the building. Y'all know we bring this heat. Dr. Producer Juice, man, on the highlights. We call him Boogie, Coach Dre, and Breezy the Don, the historian. You know what I'm saying? Y'all know how we get down. How y'all doing on this Saturday, man? Y'all ready? Georgia,
Yeah,
Tennessee,
yeah, we ready.
Miami.
I want to get
Yeah.
down to some. I want to ask a question first. How in the world did we get on Boogie?
Hey,
Hey
I
that,
man,
think
I'm still
somebody
trying to figure that
explained that.
out too.
that's
I'm still
that's
trying to
Jay
figure out
Boogie, man. Cause
where that came from.
listen, you can't call him OJ the Juice, man. Somebody just got that name.
So
Well,
Oh, okay.
OJ the Boogie.
Hell no.
I
OJ the
just,
Boogie.
I just, I don't know. Just kind of seemed like you know what I'm saying. He run a lot of the highlights, a lot of the slides. You know what I'm saying. I just start calling him Boogie, man. We know him as Juice. You know what I'm saying. We know what it is. We know who Juice is. I just Boogie. It just stuck. You know what I'm saying. Boogie. Let me get
Straight Boogie, man.
yeah,
Straight
yeah,
Boogie in the
Jay,
building. What's up with you, baby?
yeah, Jay Boogie. Let me get one of them highlights, man. And bam, there you go. Let me get one of them slides. Bam, there you go. You know what I'm saying. I know how we do it. Y'all ready though, man? Tennessee and Georgia finna get down, man. Ohio State
Yeah, buddy.
struggling. TCU
Get
versus
him out of here.
Texas Tech. It's going down. Ohio State just scored. It looked like so it's 14-7, and then like at 2:30, it's like I'm falling off the face of the earth. Georgia, Tennessee, man. Out there at Athens. Then Miami, Florida State. Then we got Northwestern, Wake Forest. Then we got the World Series. Then we got LSU, Alabama. Man, like okay. I'll holler at y'all, tomorrow, I guess.
I know that's
Yeah.
right.
Hey, listen, man. I'm nervous about this Georgia Tennessee game. I ain't gonna lie. I really honestly feel like it can go either way, bro. Either way, but I think it's gonna boil down to that defensive front of Tennessee.
Mhm.
And yeah, I ain't sold on that. I'm gonna go ahead and keep it real. I ain't sold on that. And I
Yeah,
think that's when the game is gonna change at when it boils down to that defensive line for Tennessee. It's crap, bro.
yeah.
They
Yeah,
lose. They, they
I kind of had that same sentiment because I was thinking back when they were playing Bama. Like they
Jesus,
tried to blitz and they
man.
really couldn't get to
And they've been giving
Bryce
and they've
Young.
been giving up the cookies all season. It's just that the
Hey, Juice,
Yeah,
offense is so high powered.
yeah.
Juice,
Yeah, they've been giving
you
it up.
saying what I've been thinking.
Uh,
Like, who in the hell is the defensive coordinator over there? Because he should have been fired. He called 99. That man called 99 blitzes and probably got back there 3 times.
Right.
You know, with an offense like that, it covers up the defense. You know, it covers
That's
it
a
up.
damn lie. Their defense was not covered up. Because we saw how terrible they look, bro. When you blitz that many times and you really not getting back, that's like at some point you got to be like, all right, this ain't working.
But I say they cover them up because
I know what you mean.
When your offense putting up 40 burgers, almost 50 burgers, it don't matter if the other team got 20-something or 30-something points.
So then what you're really saying is that the SEC is turning into the old Mountain West? What's the conference out there where Pat White and Steve Slayton and was scoring 60 and 70 points a game?
I thought that was that All-American or American.
Something out there. That's retarded. You got to put up 70 points to win a game. Like that I can't front. That defensive line was embarrassing. They won the game, but that defensive front was embarrassing, bro. And if they play like that against Georgia, dogs gonna give it to them on that ground.
And I think, this is probably the best defense they're gonna face thus far this season. Going forward. Well, for both teams, it's a litmus test at this point, and you're gonna see where each team is at. Then we're gonna be able to have a better prediction on Georgia, or should I say, on the SEC conference game moving forward.
Let me ask y'all this: y'all think you think we're gonna get 2 SEC teams again this year?
I'm gonna say no because Alabama already has 1 loss,
and that's still Alabama, bro. They will find a way to get Alabama.
I get it,
in the playoff.
They still have to play LSU tonight. If they lose that, LSU's in first place. They still got to play over.
If they lose, now I will say this: if they lose tonight, it's a wrap. They ain't getting in, and as bad as I really want to believe that, some kind of magical way, even a 2-loss Alabama team will find a way to get in the Final Four.
And even if they win tonight, and Ole Miss,
you don't think so?
Not 2 losses. All they got to do is if they went out and they win the SEC title game, then they're going. LSU is going to be a trap game. But if they went out and win the SEC title game, then they're going. And assuming that the winner of the Tennessee-Georgia game finishes what they're doing and they go to the SEC championship game undefeated and Alabama beats them, then you got Alabama and Tennessee or Georgia with a 1-loss record, and they're going to follow that money. What messed it up?
Then it'll get 2.
Yeah, then it get 2. What messed it up, which I was trying to tell y'all or explain to y'all, was like I was really hoping for USC and UCLA to be undefeated. That way Alabama couldn't pull this stuff, but both of them lost. So Alabama lost against, who beat Alabama? Tennessee. Tennessee beat Alabama, but it was early enough on in the year that, okay, Michigan still got to play Ohio State. We got the Monster Showdown in Athens today, and we got the Big 12 championship and all that good stuff. Alabama, all they got to do is win out and win that SEC championship, which they're accustomed to, and they in there. I'm pretty sure Saban ain't true.
I think they know what's at stake.
Yeah,
and I just have this feeling that, as hot as LSU's been as of late with their quarterback play, I just think that Saban and his coaching staff is going to figure out a way to control him and find a way to win the game. I just have that feeling.
But Juice, Bama hasn't really been putting that thump on the rival teams of the SEC. They ain't really been putting that thump. They barely beat A&M.
Yeah.
They barely beat Texas.
Exactly.
They shouldn't even won that game. They shouldn't have won that game.
They shouldn't have.
No way. I mean, we all know what happened, man. Our starting quarterback years went out, and it was definitely a struggle going forward. But I don't know. I think it's gonna get real interesting. I kind of got this weird, crazy feeling that Alabama gonna find themselves on the outside looking in.
I agree with you because I think Clemson gonna make it.
We
It's
all
gonna be
know it's
one.
only going to be one Big Ten team, so it's either going to be
It's gonna
Ohio
be a
State or it's
SEC
going to be
winner,
Michigan.
Yeah.
and Clemson don't really have nothing left that you could be like, okay, this might be a stumble right here. I mean, so they're gonna be there, and now we start looking at the TCU argument, or one of these Pac 12 schools are gonna move up
Not so
because
fast, Greasy. As bad as I hate to say this, as bad as I hate to say this, I'm almost willing to bet you that Clemson Notre Dame game is going to be a pretty good game.
Clemson will win. They'll win.
Hey,
Man, have you seen their offense, Greasy? Their offense is
they should have lost to
garbage.
Syracuse, but I ain't going to go
Have
there.
we seen Notre Dame? What that look like? I'm not gonna. And see the reason why I say the Pac-12 because you still got your Oregon USC game, you still got your UCLA USC game, you still got these matchups pending, and look at the teams depending on who wins that Pac-12 out of those three teams. Now with this playoff ranking is who they beat also. So all that's going to weigh in at the end of the day. All that.
How
gonna weigh
many?
in.
So right now, looking at these standings, you got TCU 8-0, Oregon 7-1, USC 7-1, LSU 6-2, Ole Miss 8-1, UCLA 7-1. I'm gonna stop right there. All those teams are under Alabama. The question is,
And
which
two
one
of
of
those
these
teams
teams?
play Alabama.
Which one of these teams can leapfrog Alabama?
All of them.
Think?
That's what because when they play each other, all those teams as you mentioned, they get two of them got to play Alabama. Then the other three Pac-12 schools got to play each other. Alabama's gonna get jumped. They're gonna get jumped.
So if Alabama wins,
Alabama has to win out. Has to.
yeah, they don't win out. They're definitely locked out of there. But I still feel like they're gonna find themselves on the outside looking in.
Now I agree with Doc. Now they win out, and now you got an undefeated Tennessee or Georgia, and they win that game. Yeah, we getting two SEC schools off the rip. It don't even matter.
I think we're gonna get two regardless.
What if TCU loses today? How far do you think they'll drop?
Ooh,
At least
out of the
5
top
spots.
10.
They're out of the top 10?
Yeah, they're gonna be out of there.
Heck no. They
Look,
won't be out of the
TC
top 10.
what you think, Doc?
They won't drop them out of the top 10. I mean, they won't drop them out of the top 25.
If TCU lose today, they might be in trouble.
They won't
you know
drop
that.
them out of the top 25.
No, they won't drop
They
them out
might
of
drop
top.
about 8 spots.
But
Yeah,
the only
yeah.
thing that matters is the playoff rankings at this point. That other stuff don't matter.
Right.
Right. I mean, they're close. They're sitting right there. They smoked this game off. Yeah, you it's a wrap for them for the playoff. Anything.
Yeah. Yeah.
To be honest with you, can't no one afford to lose.
Well,
To be
yeah.
honest.
If you're being honest, yeah, right now, yeah, you can't lose. But we've seen this before. Somebody lost late, and then all of a sudden, all the other teams behind them, and in front of them, started losing. And as long as you winning and they losing, yeah, you saw that
Because
played
the big
out.
game, is Tennessee and Georgia.
Right.
Whoever
this
loses
game right
that
here
game,
is going to
it's a
determine a
wrap.
lot.
Right.
It's a wrap if you lose that game, Tennessee and Georgia game. It's a wrap because they playing for the SEC East, and for basically the right to go to the championship.
Right.
So they out of there. Whoever lose.
Let me see.
We talking about out of Tennessee and Georgia?
Uh-huh.
If you think if they lose,
I ain't gonna say they're gonna be out of there.
Because they
Well,
won't play in the championship
It
game.
depends. It depends on how bad the loss is, and you got to remember everybody else still has to play. So as long as other teams are losing and you winning, you'll be right back in it.
all right, so here's the perfect storm. Let's say Georgia beats Tennessee, right?
All right.
Okay.
Alabama wins out. That would put Georgia in the SEC championship undefeated, right?
Right. Right.
Right.
Alabama goes to the SEC championship with one loss, right?
Right. And I
Right.
know where you're going with this, Doc.
And
I know exactly
Alabama
where you're going with this.
wins. And Alabama wins, then we got a
Three-way tie.
we got an argument. Okay, so Tennessee beat Alabama, Georgia beat Tennessee, but Alabama beat Georgia.
So what you're gonna have to do is go by points. Who won by the most points?
Who was the most
That would
impressive
be the
in
only way to
wins?
that would be the only way to break that tie.
I don't think they would do it like that. They would still put Alabama in.
And
Of course.
because
Georgia would be in there.
because Georgia beat Tennessee. Remember when I was saying earlier during the year, I had the teams mixed up, but I said there was a way Tennessee could beat Alabama and lose to Georgia and
And be out.
So Tennessee could end up, after all the smoke is cleared, Tennessee could be on the short end of the stick, like for real.
Yep, because they're gonna let
And
whoever win that Michigan Ohio State game, they're gonna
Yeah,
be
that's a
top
lock.
that's
Well,
a lot.
that's why I said we got one Big Ten team. That's
And that
guaranteed.
ACC, they're gonna slide. If Clemson win out,
Yeah.
they're gonna be in.
The
That's a
ACC and the
lot.
Big Ten so far. Big Ten for sure has a lock spot. We know for sure. It's either gonna be Michigan or Ohio State, and the ACC. As long as Clemson wins out, it'll be Clemson.
The only
That's a
thing,
lot.
the only way I think a Pac-12 school get, like, let's say USC beats Oregon, they beat UCLA, they win out. The only way they'll be able to get in, that's if Georgia, like, let's just hypothetically speaking, Georgia beats Alabama in the SEC championship. That slides Alabama to 2 losses.
Right. That's the only way that's gonna work.
That's the only way a Pac-12 school gonna get in.
Right.
Would it be the Pac? Yeah, Pac-12 is next up.
It's-
So that's giving TCU.
But then again, hold on.
that's if TCU loses. If TCU
but
don't
hold on.
lose, and Pac-12 still locked out.
Now when I think about it, if USC wins out, they beat Oregon, who beat some formidable opponents. They beat UCLA. They might be able to jump Clemson.
How they gonna jump? So how they gonna jump
Especially
TCU?
if Clemson loses, the Clemson have to lose though, right? If they lose
I-
in one of those Pac-12 teams, or
I don't even. I
Yeah.
think just strength of schedule
jump in. Yeah.
because Oregon and UCLA are in that top 10 on the playoff rankings, aren't they?
Pac-12 ain't getting in unless
Unless Clemson
Alabama loses,
or Alabama
TCU loses, and one of them
Well,
top 3
TCU
teams loses.
TCU doesn't have strength of schedule over a Pac-12 school. They don't have it. That's going to be their downfall. They don't have it.
I still don't see a Pac-12 team making it, bro.
Hey, if SC wins out, look where Oregon's ranked. Look where UCLA's ranked. They're going to jump somebody. Okay, well,
Oregon is ranked number 8.
let's check this out. Say USC wins out. We
USC
talking about
ranked number
University of
9.
Southern California. And Alabama wins the SEC championship. Now you got a 1-loss Georgia, who just lost their conference game, but USC won their conference. See what I'm saying? So now Georgia and Tennessee out. And now it's SC or Michigan and Ohio State along with Clemson. Got to be careful because Alabama has the upper hand. Alabama, Ole Miss, and LSU have the upper hand because of strength of schedule. And Oregon, UCLA, and USC got the upper hand because of strength of schedule. Got to think about that. Those schools got the upper hand. Clemson doesn't.
Well, we'll just see how much money is on the table, and we'll see which way they want to go.
Because
with
think
money,
about it.
'cause
If we gonna
it's
play
all
it
about
like
the money
that,
at the end of the day.
So Dre, we're gonna play it like that. I think Michigan and Ohio State are both deserving, no matter regardless of who lose that last game of the season.
They're not
think
going to
they
do it,
deserve
though. They're not going to do it.
know.
I don't think Michigan. I don't think you can automatically just say that because
Okay, Doc, check this out. Check this out, Doc. Check this out, y'all. Let's say Michigan wins
okay,
and Ohio State got that one loss. And Michigan win the Big Ten. Ohio State got that one loss.
Yeah.
What's up?
Michigan gonna win. Michigan's gonna go.
Michigan's getting in.
You don't
Michigan's
think they're
getting
gonna slight Ohio? You don't think they're gonna roll Ohio State in?
Hell
Nah,
no.
they ain't gonna.
Whoever loses that game is out. Whoever
they
wins
ain't-
that game is in. That's
but
how it's
that-
always been.
But they're not gonna roll Ohio State in. And based off what happened when Michigan played Georgia last year, if Michigan loses, the loser of that game is in trouble. The loser of that game is in trouble. I think Georgia, based
The
off
loser of that
them,
game is out, Doc.
I would say based off the simple fact that Georgia did win the national championship last year, it's going to be hard to keep them out if they defeat Tennessee today.
Okay,
And-
so I got a question. Okay, let's say Michigan beats Ohio State, right?
Okay.
Ohio State loses the Big Ten champ. Well, let's say Ohio State
that
beats
is-
Michigan.
Green.
Let's say Ohio State beat Michigan.
Okay.
Michigan loses the Big Ten championship. What's up?
That is the championship, bro.
That's the championship.
That's the championship game.
No, Big Ten.
They don't have a Big Ten championship.
Yes, they do.
Yes, they do.
Oh, they
Michigan
put it
played
back in?
Iowa last
Yeah,
year.
yeah, they do.
It's in Indianapolis. They
Oh,
do.
okay.
Yeah, every year it's in Indy.
See what they're trying to do is they're trying to split the Big Ten, and they want Michigan to go to one side and Ohio State to go
That's
to the
what
other
they
side.
need. That's what they need.
That's
bro.
what they need on the
They
cool.
need that.
But they're not going to throw. But they're not going to throw away the Michigan Ohio State rivalry at the expense of that. At the expense of that.
But you can still have that
You
game.
can still have, you can still
Yeah,
have
you
that
can still
game.
have that game.
The problem is you got Ohio. This is back when Penn State was good. So you had Penn State, Michigan, Ohio State, and Michigan State all on the same side.
They can
It's
do
different
it.
who you want to win.
They can do it, but they're not going to move the day of the game. And what the problem that they would run into is that, let's just say Michigan and Ohio State undefeated, right? And they meet up, and they're both in separate. I think it's one division is called the leaders, and one division is called the victors. So let's say Michigan is in the leaders, and the other one is called the victors, and Ohio State is in the leaders. So the game is traditionally played the Saturday after Thanksgiving. So November 26th, they play in Ann Arbor. Michigan wins. Okay, let's just use that for example. Okay, but Ohio State ran their conference, their particular section of the conference. Michigan did. So then the next week, you would turn right back around and run it right back again.
They did that. Did they not already do that once? I know it wasn't the.
I think the ratings will be high.
It was.
The ratings will be high because you want to
we
see
seen
that
that
rematch.
happen already though.
It was Texas, Oklahoma, but Texas and Oklahoma play in October.
That's true.
No, I'm talking about. All right, remember when Michigan messed around and lost that game to Ohio State, and they dropped Michigan to like number 3, and then whoever was ahead of Michigan messed around and lost their championship game, and we ended up with Michigan and Ohio State
Again, and that's in the Big Ten championship. I remember
Yes.
that.
Oh no.
I don't think-
Oh,
I'm gonna have to go back and
What
look
year
that
was it?
mug up.
They're in the same bracket, so they're not going to play each other.
yeah,
They're,
that's true.
they're both in the leaders, I think. So once they play each other, that's it. You have to play somebody for whoever wins the leaders plays the conquerors or victors or whoever, which is Iowa, Northwestern, da 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 da. So I'm saying if you move Ohio State to the conference, to the section of the conference with Northwestern, and they play Michigan November 26th, and they lose against Michigan, they turn right back around and play them again December 6th. I don't think they're gonna do that. Not at the expense. They would have to move the Michigan game to early in October, basically like they do the Texas and Oklahoma game, and them alumni ain't going for that. They ain't going for that.
You don't
I mean,
think
why
that
not?
would be
You get that game twice a year.
Yeah, but the alumni run college football. They ain't going for that. You better not move that game. You better not move that Ohio State Michigan game. That's like trying to move Texas and Oklahoma Red River Shootout during the state fair. That's when the politicians and the alumni, the oil men and the University of Texas, are going to be like, no, sir, absolutely not. They're not going to
I
move
would
it.
say keep the game the same, because I think that'll be must see TV. Like let's say we was gonna have it this year. They're in two different divisions in the Big Ten. Let's say Ohio State beats Michigan by a point.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody want to see that rematch the following week. Let's get it on. Let's do it
That's-
all over again.
And the thing about the SEC championship when Georgia played Alabama, it was at least a month. You see what I'm saying? But to possibly have Michigan and Ohio State play back to back, that's going to be hard to pull off. You're going to have to do a lot of convincing. But they talking about expanding anyways. They talking about expanding the college football playoff, which I don't think is really going to solve anything anyways. Because let's say you go to 8 teams, okay? Well, you still eventually going to run into a situation where number 9 team that got left out beat number 6 and 7. It's just going to happen. I mean, that's just the way it is. It's like we're looking for perfection in an imperfected sport. Like they even moved the NCAA tournament from like 64 to 65 and 66 to have an additional playing game. And you still have a team that went 20-10 and came third in the Big East and beat 3 top 20 teams that gets left out. It's just the best way to do it is just handle your business and run the table, which is why I was pushing for USC and UCLA to handle their business and have that battle out there for the victory bell in California. That way, okay, Georgia, you lose. You don't get that spot. You see what I'm saying? Or Alabama, or let's say Alabama, let's say USC and UCLA are undefeated and Georgia loses the SEC championship. Well, you can't just say screw the winner of the victory bell game because they handle business. You lost late, which is poison. Don't lose late, lose early. You see what I'm saying?
That's easier said than done. And just the
It's
fact
easy.
that we're debating this, the
It's
fact that we're debating a one-loss anybody team is a reason why we need to fix this playoff system, because there's no way in hell you're telling me
there is
one-loss Ohio State
But I
team.
agree with Doc, though. I agree with Doc.
There is no
There's
fixing.
really no
You can't
clear-cut
fix it.
solution.
I mean, there ain't no. I'm not saying it's not. I'm not saying there is one, but there's got to be a better solution to where some of these. I mean, come on. You got Tennessee, Ohio State, Georgia, Clemson, Michigan, Alabama, TCU, Oregon, USC, even the hell LSU, Ole Miss. Look at all these 7-1s and 8-1 teams.
You know why Oregon is even in the conversation right now? Because they lost early. If you lose late, you in trouble. That's just how it goes. It's been that way. It's been that way.
That's a problem, bro.
If you lose, that's why Oregon, like the way Georgia did Alabama, it's attention span. People forget that Georgia beat the brakes off Oregon.
Yeah, they humiliated them.
They manhandled them. But the simple fact is that was in September and it's now November, and people forget. And it's like, oh, you got this number 8 ranking, and if they went out, it's gonna be look how good Oregon is. No, they really not. You just forgot what happened to them. And if they run into an SEC team again, pretty much the same thing is gonna happen. So, I mean, look at 2019 LSU. They left no doubt. They ran the table. 89 Notre Dame ran the table. 87 Miami ran the table. 95 Nebraska run the table. 97 Michigan run the table. That's the best way to handle it, because at the end of the day, if you got one loss and then you get into all this, well, what if, then that's just what it is.
And I think
it's asking a lot to go undefeated, man.
A 1 week loss is excusable because you don't have a preseason.
We don't have a preseason. We don't have a preseason in college football.
You know, I've always felt like, you know, the best teams that, you know, they have a very competitive schedule, and then it all depends on who you beat and when you beat them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's kind of one of the things that kind of bothers me about Alabama is Alabama's not going anywhere west of the Mississippi.
Right.
You know what? You sure right. They barely came
if they do play an inter-conference game, it's like in Dallas.
Yep.
So it's like, no, come on, Saban. You got to – come on, SEC teams. Like, well, I can't even say SEC teams. I'll specifically say Saban, because LSU, they went to California and played was at UCLA last year. But Alabama is like they want to play in Dallas and that's it. Or they want to play in some – you know what I'm saying? Like, now, like I was telling Dre, like, me and Dre was having a talk one week, like, okay, Alabama lost against Tennessee, right? That was what, 2 weeks ago? So in order to prevent Alabama from saying, okay, well, let's just go get this loss out the way, what they need to do is throw the monkey wrench in the system. Okay, you lost that one game. Okay, Ohio State. or Michigan, now the pressure is really on because you can't just glide into the Ohio State game and think, well, okay, even if we lose this game, How about a week before Thanksgiving, Alabama pack all their stuff up and go to Columbus? You got to switch the schedule up like that. And I know it's going to piss off some of the old timers because of the tradition, and this is when this game played, but that's the only way to prevent it. Because now Alabama has to beat Ohio State, and if Ohio State loses and turns around and loses to Michigan, bing, bang, boom, you done.
Here's the problem, Doc.
In 2 weeks, your whole season could be over. But really, honestly, right now, Ohio State, Michigan, and Alabama, they kind of like coasting, really. Because there's so many college championship, the conference championships still have to be played. So there's a possibility that, as strong as it may seem, that if TCU slip up, that the Michigan Ohio State loser could still get. You see what I'm saying? So it's kind of like coasting. I just want to see some teams that's like, okay, we're gonna go at it, and it's not. Let's do a home and home, and let's switch it up. Let's go up north. You see what I'm saying? Let's see what they got. Some of you up north teams used to playing in that ice and cold. Come on down here and get in some of this, not necessarily heat, but a little bit milder temperatures and see what it do. So there's no quick fix, but either way, it's still interest.
Why does it? Hey,
when you king of the hill, you don't gotta move. You don't have to move.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
King of the hill, so they don't have to play. But let's be honest. Who in the world up north, and we really keeping it funky? We keeping it 1,000. What name some teams up north that's really worth playing?
Syracuse,
Ohio State,
Michigan.
We done.
You got to play.
So what I'm saying is, we know football is king down south.
Well,
we know it is. It's king down south. So ain't no need them going all the way up north to play Northwestern, Ohio. No. I mean, the only teams coming up from up there right now is Michigan, Ohio State, and Syracuse.
Well, that's
everybody else up north is a waste of time.
Well, that's the only way to see what it is. Other than that,
you further west, USC.
Other than that,
LA.
Other than that, you just gonna be where we at. Saban figured out a loophole probably about 6-7 years ago where he lost and
LSU game.
Yeah, he lost the game when he was chilling. And what happened was the Hurricanes lost against Pittsburgh or somebody, which gave them their first loss, and then Miami lost against Clemson, and that was it. But Saban was like, I'm not even going to the SEC championship.
Well, that's what I thought you was getting at when you were saying that he already beat the team that won in the championship games. Like, we already beat them.
That's it. He had already beat Georgia, lost against Auburn. Was like, well, I'm not going to play Georgia again. And he held.
So I got a question, fellas.
He held the reins back, and he let Auburn go play Georgia, and Auburn ended up losing, and Alabama got in.
Okay, fellas, I got a question. What if Northwestern beats Ohio State today?
Mm-hmm.
Then Ohio State beats Michigan.
Mm-hmm.
Ohio State goes to the Big Ten championship. They lose again. Do we have a Big Ten team?
They lose again and they're out.
I see what you're saying. Yeah. It would all depend on how far they drop Michigan, which would be a late loss, which would then say, okay, is Alabama going to win out? If Alabama wins out, Michigan won't get in. If TCU wins out, Michigan won't get in. See what I'm saying?
And that's where
it depends on how far they would drop after that loss to Ohio State, and then they were going to miss 2 games. Well, they're going to miss an extra game, so they won't play in the Big Ten championship, while everybody else is still playing in championship games.
And that's where the problem would come in, where like Michigan could still get in, but are they going to railroad Georgia at the expense of Michigan? And I don't think they will.
Not with last year's showing, they won't.
Yeah, not with last year's showing. And I mean, if Georgia wins today, they're basically in the college football playoffs because they're the defending national champions. And for the most part, you got to get a chance to try to defend it. You know what I'm saying? So if they beat Tennessee today, they, regardless of what happens, as long in the SEC championship, assuming they went out and no late season stumble, Georgia in pretty good shape. That's just my opinion. Alabama.
I don't feel good about Alabama winning out. I really don't.
I think tonight they're gonna be in some trouble tonight. It's nighttime. LSU. This the game LSU really want at nighttime. Like, okay, Tennessee, you did what you did at 11 o'clock in the morning, but this right here, You got them Tide coming in there. By the time they kick that ball off, it's gonna be gator eyes all in the trees and in the swamps. It then got dark out there. Ooh.
Fellas, I keep harping on this, man, but I still don't understand, like, what difference does it make when the game's played, if it's daytime or nighttime? I don't understand that.
Hey man, it's,
Like,
it's
what makes
about
them
playing the LSU
what makes
at
them play
nighttime,
better
man.
at nighttime versus
It's a
versus
mystique.
12 noon? I don't
It's a
understand that.
mystique.
Like the
Every,
park,
every,
like
every
the old,
LSU
like
fan, every LSU fans knows this.
yeah.
I've gave y'all numerous examples during the season. Yeah,
Like-
you seeing LSU getting beat up, but when that sun starts to set and it get dark, everything come alive.
Yep, like the old Boston Garden.
Yep. Thank you. That right there, the Boston Garden, is like, this is why the Lakers could never beat the Celtics. Lakers could be up 3-1. It don't matter. We go on to Boston and just some weird stuff get to happen. I mean, it's just I don't know if it's superstition. I don't know, but it's weird. You got places like that out here in professional, well, just sports in general.
This week is a very important week, though.
It is.
Very important, man. No slip ups, no stumbles.
And then I'm not too sure if Alabama can beat Ole Miss if they beat LSU.
Yep. We're gonna see about that. We're gonna see about that.
Yeah, that's coming around the corner.
Comes around the corner. But that's it. We're gonna slide up out of here because in a few it's gonna be time to go down. We thought we'd just check in with y'all and see what y'all got going on. Y'all share this video, y'all like this video, all that good stuff. And Miami FSU World Series, man, it's just going down. Y'all show that love. Just Know Sports Show, Dr. Producer, Juice Man, the Boogie with the highlights, and Breezy the Don, Coach Drake. Hold it down, baby. Big E, Ian Jackson. We're going to catch up with you next time every Friday night. Y'all know what to do. Y'all be easy. Y'all enjoy the games. We out.